Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our match reaction show. It's finished. Manchester United 3, Leicester nil. It was shaping up to be a bit of a banana skin tie, and I think it could have been, but somehow, somewhere, United got through that tough period and then eventually found their way to a comfortable win. And it's 3 points. That's the most important thing at the end of the day. You can't really look beyond the result. I mean, the performances are good, but really what's important now are results. And if you can get both, it's fantastic. But if you can get just the result, that's not a bad thing either. This is the season either, as United fight for that top 4 spot. So again, going with that number 10 Weghorst, I've got to say, I don't think Weghorst will ever make it as a striker at Manchester United. I think that is now clear that he's probably going to be lucky to get even 5 goals this season. I don't think he's going to get more than 5 if he's going to get that. And so therefore, he has to play as a number 10 because you can't have your main striker playing up front if he's not going to score you goals. Of course, you see Rashford on the left, and he does make a difference when he plays on the left. But I think Rashford and I think Ten Hag thought, I've got Garnacho who's got the same sort of pace, maybe not the same skill, so I can use him on the left. And then you've got to decide who plays on the right. So I'm going to play Bruno on the right because if you play Rashford on the left and you play Weghorst at number 10, then you've got to decide who plays right. Is it Bruno, is it Garnacho, or somebody else? And I think what he's realized is that, like, there's nobody you can play right. You can't play Rashford on the right, and Garnacho is too young to be playing right now. So he's basically said, I'm going to play Bruno on the right because he's most comfortable, and then you figure out where you play the other. So I think that's where Weghorst gets played at number 10. I was very impressed with Wout Weghorst's work rate, though. That's something I want to say. I was really impressed with it. He doesn't look like an old-fashioned number 10, but I think he oftentimes he tries to play as a midfielder. His tackling is brilliant. His work rate is fantastic. His pressing is fantastic. He'll never get you 5 goals, but I think what he does bring to the team is the work rate. I think that's what Ten Hag likes. He likes that work rate, which is what Antony used to give as well. And now Antony's not there, so he needs somebody to compensate for that. And I think that's what about Weghorst brings to the team. Leicester should have scored from the 2 chances that they had, Harvey Barnes and Iheanacho. The thing is, Leicester played very well for the first 20-25 minutes. They were in that game. They were definitely on top. But as they say, there's no point being on top if you don't take your chances, if you don't score the goals that you need. A goal, you've got to make your advantage count on the score sheet. And they didn't do that. And 2 fantastic saves from David De Gea, by the way. That save from Barnes was brilliant because I thought that was a goal. The Iheanacho one, I was a little bit surprised how much power Iheanacho generated and how difficult he made it. But the Barnes one, I thought that's a goal because he's one-on-one, he's through, he should be scoring. But De Gea pulls a fantastic save. The second one was a very good save as well. If it's 1-0 even at that point, I think the game would have been completely different because I think United would have struggled. But being 0-0 allowed them just a little bit of still in the balance or whatever. And then that goal comes to Rashford. The pass from Bruno is a very simple pass. Of course, very well weighted. And Rashford once, and I thought he was offside. As soon as that ball goes through, I thought he was offside. He scores a nice little finish. I actually thought he might square it to Garnacho, but and if he hadn't scored, he would have got pelters for it. But such is the form of Marcus Rashford at this point that he scores that goal. Such goals, it's one-on-one. He doesn't miss nowadays, and it's a fantastic finish. The thing is, whose fault is it? Is it about is it Faes' fault or is it Souttar's fault? I think it's Faes' fault because you've got to be in sync. If you're going to go forward, you've got to be in sync with your defender, right? If Faes is making the forward run, he's got to think, right, I've got to make sure that Souttar knows I'm making a forward run, right? It's the same thing. If the defender is making a backward run, against the same thing, he's got to be like, I need to let my defensive partner know that I'm moving back. So whoever makes that movement is the one who's responsible to make sure that the other person knows that movement is being made. And he didn't do that. He just ran forward to try to stop Weghorst. And Bruno said, well, that's great, thank you. And he puts a nice pass to Rashford. So I think it was his fault. Maybe Souttar, because Souttar is like on the other side of the pitch. So there's no way he's going to be able to track back. So he's holding his line. It's Faes who basically decides, I'm going to break this line. So it's his responsibility then to make sure that everybody else is in the same place. So for me, he was at fault. It's a bad goal to concede from Leicester's point of view because at 0-0, they were very much in the game. At 1-0, United suddenly got, okay, fine, now we've got something to hold on to. It means that we can now sort of dictate terms a little bit and we don't have to be as aggressive as we were. And so it just allowed United to kind of get a bit of a hold in the game, and Leicester kind of slowly started to drift away. Even in the first half, they were not exactly, after that first goal, they weren't as enterprising as they were for that opening 20-25 minutes, and then slowly they started to drift out of the game. United started getting control of the game, and the only problem as I was saying, United is the second half, at the start of the second half, first 10-15 minutes, they always seem to slow down. They always seem to allow oppositions back into the game. They've been conceding goals as well in the second half in that period. So I think Ten Hag has probably spotted that, as he normally does, and he goes, I don't want that happening today. I don't want you guys conceding a goal or even giving Leicester a sniff. And so when they came out, there was a renewed intent in that second half, which I like to see. And I think this is something that we also got to comment on how for. He's seeing things that are happening and he's trying to fix them. He's not just ignoring them and being, oh, it happens once a game. No, he's trying to fix it, which is fantastic. And I like the intent that United came out in the second half. Martinez should probably have scored. It's headers. I'm always partial to headers. Like I always feel that they're very difficult to score from. So I never unless it's like a point blank header that you miss. But otherwise, those kind of headers, it's always difficult from that far out to kind of get the angle right, to get the range right. It's very difficult. He did very well to get it on the post. It's difficult. Same with the Weghorst header as well that went wide or flashed wide, and those are very difficult ones. They should do better, but it's difficult to kind of score from those kind of chances. But they did get that second goal, and again, I thought he was offside. I thought he was offside, Rashford. But again, Martinez, puts in the pass. I think the pass is meant for Weghorst, but Fred just picks it up and goes, no, I'm doing this, and then he puts it's a nice little ball in to Rashford, and then after that, Rashford does what he does. I was gonna say the goalkeeper should do better because he shoots it between his legs, but Rashford seems to do this so much now that I'm just wondering if there's a conscious effort on his part that he's realized that the best place to score a goal is not either side of the goalkeeper, it's through the goalkeeper, because he's doing this quite often now where he's trying to go between the legs of the goalkeeper, he's trying to go between. So I think there's more of a plan now from Rashford. I don't know what it is. Maybe he's going hard and hitting it between, and maybe he's backing himself to do that. But it's happening quite often for me to think it's just a coincidence or luck. I think there's certainly an element of preparation in Rashford's mind. I believe that there is, that he's kind of doing this. So I don't want to be too harsh on the goalkeeper either, because it's been happening quite a lot, and maybe there is a plan there, and we got to credit Rashford for that. Then that he's executing that plan to perfection. But he simply is unstoppable. That's 2-0, and 2-0. You think, okay, fine, now you've got the control. They made it, and the credit to United is they made it 3-0 very quickly. They didn't dwell on it. They immediately made 3-0. I like the substitution as well. Jadon Sancho coming on playing number 10, because I don't think Sancho can play as a winger. I don't think he's not good enough to dislodge Marcus Rashford right now in the form that he is in from the left wing. Unless Rashford plays a striker, then maybe. But otherwise, I don't think so, and I don't think he works on the right wing. We saw that at Barcelona. He's not a right winger as such. He's really not. So I think his best position in time will probably be as a number 10. Whether he can make that position is a different matter, but I think that's where his best games will come. Of course, Bruno for me would probably still be first choice, so Sancho won't, but he does seem like a player who's built right now. He looks like a player who's built for that number 10 role. If any role for Manchester United, he looks like he's built for that. Whether he can make it there is a different matter, but that's, I think, where his immediate future will lie for Manchester United, I feel, if he's going to have a future. So I like that change. And the goal is a wonderfully worked goal. Again, Martinez involved. Was that a foul? If it was given, it was given. It would not have been overturned. I think it was one of those fouls where it's given, then it's given. But if it's not given, the VAR doesn't interfere and doesn't overturn. We've seen them quite often, that these kind of fouls are not overturned. So that's where it is. I think it's a 50-50. And the ball breaks to Sancho. It's a good pass to Bruno, and then it's a nice little 1-2, and then he passes to Bruno. Bruno passes it back. It's a good finish from Sancho as well, because oftentimes those kind of finishes don't work, but he actually made it look very, very easy. And Sancho, it's always good to see Sancho when he plays, because he's had such a tough time of it, and just the fact that we got him back on the pitch and he's playing well as well. I think that's wonderful to see. It's 3-0. It's game over. Leicester just looked deflated. Like I said, they just slowly drifted out of the game. Martinez was fantastic today. He played a part in 2 goals. He was like everybody else. He had a tough opening 20 minutes, but he came into this, and he grew into that game, and he was just very good in that second half. Fred, for me, now this is the interesting one, because Fred got an assist. He gave away the pass, gave away the ball so much in that first 15 to even the first half. He was giving the ball away. He does sometimes look like a weak link in midfield. I don't think he should start the game against Barcelona. I think it should be Sabitzer and Fred. The thing is, because Sabitzer played 80 minutes and Fred played only 60. Now it could be because Fred played midweek, so he's taken him off early to rest him. But it just worries me that he came off first. It might mean that he's starting. I hope he doesn't, because I think Sabitzer has done enough to keep his place in the team, and he should start alongside Casemiro against Barcelona. That should be the midfield too, but we'll see what he does. Speaking of Sabitzer, speaking of the red card, was that a red card? I don't think it was a red card. But if the referee had given a red card, VAR would not have overturned it. Again, let's be honest here. But I don't think it was a red card. It was a yellow card though, and he got away with it because it's not given a yellow card. But VAR can't tell a referee to give a yellow card. That doesn't work. So if it's not a red card tackle, then VAR is not going to get involved. So just keep that in mind. I do think it was a yellow card, and I do think he was lucky that the ref didn't show him a yellow card or a red card, because the ref could have shown him a red card. right? I mean, I don't think you can have any complaints if it was a red card. But at the same time, I don't think it was a red card tackle. So it's one of those gray area ones. And whatever the decision referee was going to take was going to stick. That's what it's going to be. So he's a bit lucky. He's got to be careful. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think about that. And then we come to Marcus Rashford. We've got to talk about Marcus Rashford. He is in sensational form at the moment. He's probably I don't know the stats, but I'm pretty sure he's outscoring Erling Haaland. I think since the resumption, he's outscored Erling Haaland. He just looks, every game that he plays, he looks like he's going to score a goal, which is fantastic because at the moment he's their only goal threat. Really, sometimes he seems like their only goal threat. So it is imperative for him to keep his form going. And it's great to Ten Hag, because I was one of those who thought Marcus Rashford this season is make or break for him. And I really felt that Marcus Rashford was going to leave at the end of the season, because I thought he's going to, Ten Hag's going to come in, he's going to give him a chance, but he's not going to be able to take it, because that's what we've seen Rashford do. But credit to Marcus Rashford, he's worked hard in his game. Credit to Ten Hag for giving him that confidence to go, you're my guy. You're my main man. I want you to go and show me what you can do and show me what you're capable of. And it's credit to both of them. And I've enjoyed watching Marcus Rashford play this season. I've enjoyed what he has done. I've enjoyed the strings that he's added to his bow, because for a long time he was very predictable. He would always run down channels every time. It was the same thing. Now he's added a lot more to his game. He looks confident. His finishing has improved a lot. His movement has improved a lot. His timing and the timing of his runs, the timing of his of what he's doing, his decision making has improved so much, and you can see the difference from a year ago. And I feel he's enjoying his football again. That's really what it is. I feel he's enjoying his football again, and that's credit to Ten Hag for making him believe once again that he can be a world-class footballer, and now he's just showing that on the pitch. So congratulations to Marcus Rashford. Fantastic performance today for him. Fantastic performance this season. It's now on to Barcelona. 3 big cup games now coming up for United. So they need the 3 points today, so they can now focus on those 3 cup games that are coming up. And I don't know what's going to happen in either of those games. I don't even want to make predictions, but it will be interesting. Those 3 cup games for me are going to the barometer now where Manchester United are at in their development. Can they go on to win all 3 of them? Can they win 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3, 0 out of 3? I don't know, but I hope at the very least, I hope that they will fight and they will give a good account of themselves. That's the least that we expect. She really would want to win them, want them to win all 3, wouldn't you? Anyway, let me hear your thoughts on the game. Of course, always happy to hear your thoughts. Smash a like if you enjoyed this video. Share your comments. Of course, do subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We appreciate the support. We've got a few more videos coming today. Of course, there's a couple more games going on. We're going to be reviewing that outside the Premier League, of course. So do subscribe so you can get notified for that. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.